Hey AJ, it's good to see you. Your first guest appearance.
I had to come on, Kevin, I got to come and show Kevin that anybody can do this type of thing.
Well, it's Beyond the Rolls number 5. We got an exciting guest coming on. It's related to one of our newest products in the lineups. It's been like on wildfire, but more. I heard you're having a baby.
I am having a baby. This is breaking news apparently for some people, especially around even HGW. Some people didn't even know. Baby number 2. So we're excited, add to our family, and it's going to be life changing a little bit. Just a little shake the nest a little bit at our house. So
you got to change the defense up a little bit. And,
yeah, I mean, it's a 3-year-old and an infant. We'll figure it out pretty quick. So.
Well, it'll be that's exciting news, and like I said, what else? The weekend was good for you.
Yeah, the weekend was good. It's kind of those coming into the cooler weekends where it's not boiling hot outside, and you can get outside and enjoy the weather a little bit with a little bit less bugs, and it's been nice. It's getting too close to winter for what I'm maybe excited about, but the leaves aren't brown yet, so
leaves aren't brown yet.
So we got time.
That's good news. Obviously, I like the fall, but I don't like the fall for those purposes. So. So we got this guest, and would you like to introduce the?
Yeah. So, as everybody knows, Heat Transfer House has been offering Supacolor transfers for the last couple months for sure, 2 or 3 months for sure, with really good traction, really good feedback from customers. The application, everything is super easy, really nice transfers. But that's just coming from me. We're gonna let the president tell us a little bit more. We got Rum Walia with us. Rum, where are you talking from? Where are you at?
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm here in LA at our Supacolor factory, right near LAX. If that gives you guys any type of orientation of where I am.
So can you hear the planes there?
Yeah, I see them landing. They're coming right over our heads. Well, there's not so many these days, though. I'll tell you that much. It's a lot less.
So the constant noise is now once every 5 minutes instead of every second?
Living in LA, born and brought up over here, we like to tell ourselves that this is the greatest place on earth to live because of the traffic, the smog, and now we just added fires, and then there's the excitement of earthquakes. So, that all of that right there makes it the best place in the world to live.
There you go.
Yeah, I appreciate the fires. We were just out in Colorado, and it was raining ash down on us. It's everywhere, man. It's crazy.
For sure.
So, well, hopefully everybody stays safe out there, and we could have a few less fires, I guess. But they had snow in Denver, so hopefully it went away. So,
if we can get some rain, we'll be good.
So, Ron, tell us about Supacolor. I mean, it's Heat Transfer Warehouse's hottest product. Just came on board. It really fills the niche that we've had since becoming, affiliated with Supacolor. So really kind of let's dive into the company and tell us a little bit more about that. So,
sure. Well, Supacolor LA, we launched it here in the States last March, so 2019 March. We've got great traction. We created the product. It was born out of the necessity to make life easier for printers everywhere. Whether you're a crafter or a professional, with a heat press and Supacolor, basically you can print from anywhere. And I think accessibility is the thing that we really focus on. Is we want to make this technology, our technology, very accessible to just about anybody. And I think that's why people really love what we're doing so much. We have 3 locations worldwide now. One is in the UK, and our original, where Supacolor was founded, is in New Zealand. And so we are fast becoming one of the largest transfer manufacturers in the world. And we just look forward to continue to grow our platform with Heat Transfer Warehouse and all of our supporters out there that have, come along with us on this journey.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun product, exciting with it. I love the fact that it's 4-color. You can do anything with it. Obviously, I got it on the hat here. AJ's using it on the shirt, everything else, and so we've definitely embraced it. and really just thinking about where do you think it fits, obviously with the crafters and people like that. So
I think Supacolor is one of those things that it's very versatile, very adaptable. It can fit into just about any situation. What's really nice about it is because there's a low minimum order quantity of 20 pieces, it's not a huge commitment. And so let's say you want to test out a design and you're not really sure if you're going to, you order the 20 pieces, you press a few of them, you don't have to waste a bunch of garments with it. You put it out there, and if it gets some traction, you order some more. So it can fit in your portfolio as, like just if you're wanting to start something out fresh and new, you have a concept that you're not really ready to commit to, you can use Supacolor in that way. But if you have consistent programs, you have consistent designs that are selling, whether it's for your own brand or for a customer, you can order more quantity, more volume, and, you can press it really quick, 10 to 15 seconds, and you're going to get good life out of the product too, because it's very durable and it's got good, great wash qualities. So in terms of where does it fit in, it can fit in anywhere you want it to fit in. And that's because it's versatile and it's flexible. So I think that there's room for it no matter who you are.
So Rum, this is AJ. I got a question for you. When it comes to the durability, a lot of people have issues with different products, either possibly peeling or cracking over time when it comes to like transfer paper. What gives Supacolor the ability to be durable, even from, like you said, a clothing line or even the at-home crafter?
So first and foremost, when using any type of transfer product, you have to make sure that you press it correctly. And I think that that's half the battle. If you're not pressing things with the proper parameters or using the proper equipment, you're going to have delamination, cracking, fading, those type of issues. Outside of the pressing problems, our product is constructed uniquely. From the adhesives that we use, which are designed to go on various types of products, to the top coat finish that we put on top of our transfer that gives it that extra layer of protection and seals the edge. Those are the type of things that we've built into our transfer to give it the longevity, the durability, and the life that is exceptional and adds more quality to it than competing transfer types in our space.
So far, I'm impressed. I treat my laundry like a college kid. So it's washed with everything, and I think it's better.
The one of the other things that is really great about the transfer in terms of its durability is the resiliency of the colors. And I think that the more you wash it, the more impressive it becomes, because you start to look at a gradient like on the shirt that I'm wearing, and it just continues to pop wash after wash after wash. Now, I probably have, 50 Supacolor shirts in my wardrobe and nothing else, but they're getting washed every day. And, like getting to have that real life experience on a daily basis to kind of see what the garments go through and how they start to break down. But the transfers, man, they look as good as new.
I have to ask the hot button issue, because like America is different. And I think about this is the no ganging. Okay. No ganging with Supacolor. And it's a question we get every day. And so I just have to ask, because even the team here at Heat Transfer, I was like, why can't we gang? And so I'm going to leave it to you to give this hot button issue an answer once and for all. So.
Yeah, no, and I'm sure I'll give an answer that maybe people are either not going to accept or not going to like, because it's something that we address on a daily basis. But, when we set out to do this, we wanted to make buying a transfer really easy. And what that means is we wanted price transparency. How much you're going to pay per piece without having to introduce any additional charges, any hidden costs, whether it's in the form of a setup fee or it's in the form of cutting fees or packaging fees or anything like that. And the other aspect of what we do is we use a lot of technology to be able to produce our transfers really fast. And by separating the artwork and selling it by the piece, it allows us to really execute on top of those commitments as much as possible. And that means that, giving price transparency, making a product very quick and very fast, and being able to ship it out with next day in most cases. Introducing gangs into our system doesn't always really make sense. At the end of the day, it's a philosophy, and we want to kind of introduce our culture of not ganging into the business, because we believe in the long run it's going to make a lot more sense, not just for ourselves but for our customers as well. When you get a gang, you have to when you're making a gang, you first have to lay out all of your artwork. So you're waiting around to get enough designs to make the gang. That in itself doesn't really go along with the Supacolor philosophy, because you're waiting, and we don't want you to wait. We want you to order, and we want to print, and we want to ship as quickly as possible. The next thing with ganging is you have to figure out your yield. So now you're having to do a calculation of how many of each one you need up on a sheet. Again, now it's become complicated. You're having to do math and figure out how many of each you're going to need. Then the next thing is when you finally do upload your order and print your gang, the next thing that you have to do is you get your gang, then you have to cut it up. And if you don't lay it out properly and you're cutting it up with scissors and things like that, you're actually wasting time and energy and resources towards something where you might only end up saving a little bit of more money by introducing a lot more hassle into your life. And I think that the more people that understand the convenience of ordering Supacolor by the piece, by the design, it shows up beautifully in a bag, cut edges, really clean boxes that you can lay down and find the positioning on your garment and press a really beautiful transfer onto a garment to get it a complete finished look. There's magic in that. And if you're letting gangs get in the way of feeling and experiencing the Supacolor magic, then you're selling yourself short. And so give it a try. Don't let the old school philosophy, the old school mentality hold you back because somebody told you a long time ago that ganging was the best thing to do. Well, it's not. And we know it because we see how many people order Supacolor because of how convenient it is to order, how convenient it is to receive those transfers ready to press. And that's really the story behind that.
I've definitely been there. And I remember many times helping other people and sitting there cutting this paper up, and imagine I've spent an hour cutting. So yeah. I can relate. And so I am sold. We're on board now.
What that hour could be utilized doing something else, selling the next job. It could be,
pressing the job,
getting the job out the door. So it was a great answer. I have never heard the answer personally from you, and it's nice to finally hear it coming from you, explaining it in the way you do.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. I mean, listen, you guys sell a lot of products, and so you sell some great film that we can't actually replicate with our print process. But at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, do you want to weed? Because weeding is something that you can do as well, right? And still make great transfers with. But at the end of the day, if you had a choice that whether to weed or not to weed, how would you want to spend your time? Would you want to spend your time doing that? Or would you just rather get a printed transfer and press it and be done with your day? And that's really the mentality or the philosophy that we live by is, don't waste your time ganging and grouping, put the order in, let's get it shipped, pressed, and out to your customers or on, wearing it or whatever you're using it for, so that's how I feel about it.
Awesome.
We can relate. We definitely did all those masks for McKinley, and it was just snap. It was easy.
So I have a question. When the application on masks is what is being done right now, but the rest of the world, there still is, jackets, ever-changing garments, different bags. How does Supacolor keep up with the ever-changing fabrics used, the mixture of fabrics used, and that whole world? How do you guys keep up with that?
Well, we've partnered up with several distributors and manufacturers that like to drop ship their products to us. We do a lot of product testing on their behalf. So we'll bring them in, we'll press them, we'll wash test them if wash testing is required. We'll wear test them if wear testing is required to try to see, how they perform. But also we have a lot of manufacturers and customers that are doing the testing for us. They love to share that information with us, and we take in all of that information. But the game is constantly changing. I mean, like now you think of like all these synthetic fibers that are constantly being introduced into the marketplace. You're finding nylon getting mixed with polyester to make leggings, and for durability and stretch. And what we do is we take our transfers and we use them by trial and error. But what we do know is this: if it's a washable garment and it's not going to bleed, nine times out of 10, the wearable transfer is the ticket. The wearable transfer is the most versatile transfer on the market because of how we construct it. And, it works for natural fibers like cotton. It works for blended fibers like poly cotton, or just pure synthetic fibers like polyester. And so, whenever we're unsure if something's going to work or not, that is our starting point. That is where we go, and then we take it from there.
So,
Cool.
So Rum, now we've learned a lot about Supacolor, but now we're going to learn about the myth, the legend, the man, Rum. And so, I did call, and message your partner a little bit, and he told me a little bit about you're a Lakers fan. Is this true?
Yes, absolutely. I am a huge Laker fan. When I got out of college and after I had my first couple of jobs, I saved enough money to buy my Laker season tickets, and that was the first year that Shaq and Kobe played together in LA, and I've been a Laker season ticket holder ever since. And I'm I like to think of myself as a real hard worker and a grinder, and that's probably because that's the Mamba mentality inside of me.
Exactly.
So, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, a little bit of history of Rum. Okay, Lakers fan, Supacolor. So what are some things you can tell us? How did you get into the transfer industry? What does that look like? You graduated college, with a business and economics degree. How did you get into the transfer world?
And a Trojan, I heard USC. So
like most of the best things that happened in my life, it was by accident, and not by intentions. I kind of stumbled into it. I did go to USC, and I was in the the financial industry for many years. I switched into real estate and got into real estate investments. I wasn't really on the buy sell side. It was more like commercial real estate. And then I had I've had some good wins in my life, and I've had some real tough losses. And I was just coming off a really hard loss. I'd lost a lot of money on an investment that I made, and I was in New Mexico, and that's in Albuquerque, and that's where I met my wife. So I didn't walk away from the situation completely broke, because I found the love of my life. And then I moved back to LA, and I was trying to reorganize and regroup and try to figure out what was next for me. And one of my really good friends, Chris Beasley, he was in this business, and he said, "Hey, I'm going to be starting this next venture, and I wanted to see if you'd be interested coming on as like a CFO type position." And it wasn't, I didn't really think much about it. And I decided, well, when I was growing up, I was really into music, and believe it or not, I was a DJ. And so I kind of wanted to get back into a creative space. And I felt like, if I could get closer to art, I'd probably be a lot happier. And that's kind of how I got into this business about 6 years ago. And then since, we all kind of went our separate ways, but this has become something that I've become extremely passionate about. I'm constantly learning. I'm picking up things as we go along. And I feel like this journey has been short, but in that short amount of time, really managed to accomplish a lot of things that I happen to be very proud of. So yeah, that's kind of my story.
So yeah, we're gonna move into just some kind of open questions, quick fire as far as that goes on. And you think about Rum. What was key? You think about this. I got an email from you saying, "Why don't you come to this bar in Long Beach? Check out our product
in the basement."
Yeah.
in the basement." And I think about that day is like, and AJ was with, he's like, "Where are we going?" I'm like, "We got to go down. We're going to have a drink. At least we're going to get a drink out of this guy. Either way, we're going to drink off of him. And we're going to check out this product and we'll see what it is." And you think about it was just funny because I'm like, man, if we wouldn't have been there, we wouldn't be here today.
Yep.
Because if we wouldn't have met personally, we would never probably got this relationship going. And so it's kind of funny. I was thinking back, I'm like, all right, guys, let's just go on. Let's just mooch a couple drinks out of these guys. We'll check out their transfers, make them happy, and we'll buzz out. And truly, it was revolutionary. So just think back to that. That was kind of my favorite moment. So
if I remember right, I think we fixed your heat press.
yeah, we did. We fixed your heat press.
Thank you for that. Well, thank you for that, guys. But timing is everything, though, right? Like, I mean, if you really think about it, that was a month, right? A month before coronavirus really kicked off here in the States. And if it had come a little bit sooner, we probably wouldn't have been sitting here. Like, there's so many like things that just happened that kind of led to that moment. And I think that when it's meant to happen, it's meant to happen. So I'm very glad it did happen, though. It's been good. It's been a great journey.
Yeah, it was actually, and the drinks were good. And obviously we know the transfers, the rest is history as far as that going on. So real quick, just tell us 2 new products I heard coming out. What are they going to?
Yeah. Sure. So what we have coming out very soon, well, everybody knows that, or I don't know if everybody knows this, but recently we put out the mask transfer. It is a limited wash transfer. It's good for 20 plus washes. And the reason why it's a limited wash transfer is because the life of a mask isn't meant to last as long as we want them to last. They recommend that you dispose of them and use them after about 20 washes. And so we constructed it to kind of fit that. Beyond that, what we're looking forward to is the metallic transfer, which is probably going to be a very exciting product. It's going to allow us to introduce a spot metallic, whether it's a silver or gold, into the process. And we do anticipate releasing that towards the end of fall, early winter type of deal. And that is probably going to be one that we expect to see a lot of interest in. Beyond that, after that, we do have another special that's coming up, but I'm going to tease it. I'm not going to talk about it, but it is coming your way soon. I want to leave something on the table for us to talk about, but we do have another great product that is in our development right now that we are testing and circulating and having really great results about. So we look forward to talking to you about that product in early 2021.
Nice.
It's exciting. It's fun. Obviously, just fun. The journey we've had with you and Supacolor has been fantastic. We obviously one day we're going to be doing this together in the same room. So that's.
Yeah, no, for sure. And hopefully that's not in the too far distant future.
No, hopefully not. And but again, we thank you for being on and hanging out with us. We love doing the Beyond the Rolls and really digging into getting to know the person. It's not just Supacolor, but it's there's a lot of people behind it and exciting things happening there. So again, guest appearance with AJ here, exciting, obviously.
Yeah. It's been interesting. This light is starting to get to me a little bit. But hey, I did want to ask you one more thing. What is, it's always interesting, people that have seen different transfers and, just different worlds from that point of view. What is the most interesting application that you've either had to work on to help somebody with, or that you just know about, you thought, oh, that's a cool application?
With our product, or
yeah,
with just any product?
No, with your product. Let's go with your product.
Yeah, with Supacolor.
Okay. Well, I think we get crazy complicated requests all the time. And you know, we had a project that we were working on for a customer who had a customer that was opening up a store in New York City. It was one of the Jenner Kardashian girls. They were opening up a store, and there were these paper bags that they wanted to print, and they couldn't get these paper bags printed in time because of the coronavirus situation. So they kind of reached out and they were like, "Hey, listen, do you guys have anything that you can do for this?" I'm like, "Look, we don't print paper, okay?"
Yeah.
but you know, I was like, "Why don't you send the bags over to us and let me play around with them?" And in the back of my mind, like, we've pressed the promo transfer onto wood and it's worked. Like, you could literally stick a door in your heat press, and if you got the right amount of pressure, you could press a promo transfer on it. And one of these days I'm going to do it just for fun. But we know that we know that there's a customer of ours out there that's already doing that, and so it's possible. So I knew if it worked on wood, it was going to work on paper. It was just going to be whether we could get the release to come off good enough where that the transfer wasn't going to tear. And sure enough, we pressed 500 paper bags front and back using the promo transfer and shipped them out in one day. And I think that to date, like, you know, with pressure and time and type of project, that was probably one of the more interesting ones. But you know, outside of that, I would say, like, you know, like these nylon products that you get that have water coating and DWR or some sort of silicone coating, those ones are always a real challenge to crack the code. And I can't think of one specifically because there's so many of them that come up all the time. What I will say to you is this, is that if you have a product that you're having a hard time pressing, or you don't know whether it's going to work, you know, they can reach out to y'all over there, or what they can do is they can drop ship the product to us, and then we'll do a press check and try to figure out if we can crack the code for them. And this goes back to one of those questions that you were asking me earlier, was in terms of, you know, like, how do you guys constantly test the transfers on the various substrates that are coming out? And that's one of the things that people do, is they'll drop ship us stuff, and we have a whole box of things that we've pressed and we give away to Goodwill, or we send them back to the customer. But yeah, there's the paper bag takes the ticket, man.
Well, I appreciate it, Rum. We excited to have you on Beyond the Rolls number 5, and looking forward to you know, very exciting stuff coming out with Supacolor and Heat Transfer Warehouse. We love the relationship, and we're very excited about the future, and excited about what's going to be taking place as far as some of the top secret stuff. Now you're going to play with us.
We're going to be. He's just trying to boost his social media up a little bit.
Yeah,
people are going to be locking in.
I'm actually, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take the pressure off of myself. And I have to release another product that soon. That's really what I'm trying to do. But hey, guys, it's been great. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Anytime I get a chance to talk to both of you, it's a great opportunity.
All right.
Go around.
Again, thank you.